everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The line. The line. New man, so fine. Kirk Cousins. Woo!
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy back again. One half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. You know what day it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wednesday. Happy Hump Day! And I'm here with my guys on Washington Football Weekly. You see this man over here. Don't ask about his shirt because he don't need one. That's the shirtless wonder, baby. Ab Low in the building, Mr. Moist.
You messed me up every time, man.
I still remember that.
Yo, my guy underneath, Doug K. Yo, Mr. Eggplant, South Carolina's finest, baby. Getting it done. Will Kramer. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Another day to talk Washington football. It's a great day. It's a great day.
I woke up today, so I'm blessed, man. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, yo, and shout out to the people that are watching. Renee El Jefe Calixto. I know you're a Cowboys fan, but you was a cool dude, so I respect that. Yo, so you know what we do? We over here, we're talking football. We're getting down because the season is right around the corner. We've seen the last preseason game, which we will talk about. The last one, the starters are playing. There's one more that's going to be this Saturday against the Ravens, but let's be honest, that's just to see who's going to be making the final cuts and see who's getting that last shot. But before we get into the last preseason game where we beat the Bengals 7-13, we want to do our birthdays. So, ladies and gentlemen, this week we've got a special one. This past Monday that passed, would have been Kobe Bryant's 43rd birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, I don't know where you've been in this world, but the beginning of 2020, I think it was like the 28th of January, Kobe Bryant and his daughter, as well as I think like 8 other individuals, were in a helicopter crash and shocked us. And to this day, Ab, I'm coming to you. To this day, it still kind of resonates. Anytime you look at any highlight, you're like, he shouldn't be gone, you know?
I remember what I was doing when that happened, and I don't remember anything. Like, honestly, you asked Sean, like, he hit me up a message like, hey, we want to talk football. I'm like, who are you? Like, I barely remember Sean and everything like that. But me, man, I was outside playing with my kids, and then I saw it's like Kobe dead, and then I'm like, that's not true because it wasn't from like one of those like real sources like New York Times and stuff like that. So I got a little neglectful of my kids, and I was like, I got to look this up. And sure as shit, man, that came about. And then, like, I mean, that was sad. And you were saying, that's like he's just one of those monumental players. And I still don't believe it, man. It's just like, you know, like, and that's crazy, bro. It's just, bless his family, bless everybody in that accident. Like, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't the only one. He wasn't the only his family's not the only one affected. Like, just bless the whole everyone in that. And they're not in pain anymore. And that's all. Like, to me, that's I try to look at the brighter side, and that's like they're just not in pain anymore. And bless everybody in that situation, man.
Yeah. And Will, I mean, shout out to Anthony Handy watching the show, talking about that was one of the hardest celebrity deaths of last year. You know, it's one thing when an athlete passes, Will, but when you have somebody like Kobe who had 20 years in the game, but then also was making a career after basketball, making it so people didn't just look at him as a basketball player or Mamba. They've looked at him as Kobe Bryant, the humanitarian, and all the things that he was doing. So, Will, man, this hits on all avenues, like everywhere. It hurts, man.
You hit exactly what I was thinking about, because he was the icon on the court, but then it was everything that he was building. You know, he had the AAU program that he had. You know, his daughter was extremely talented. You know, and just kind of looking at what could she have done, and just kind of seeing what could he have become in the business world of sports and in basketball. And why already, because he had such a marquee name and the name that everyone, you know, really looked up to, that it's one of these what might have been that makes it so tragic for the families involved and for you know, our country and what could have come from him, even more so than what he already offered.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, Ab, I remember what I was doing. I remember when I was sitting there and I was sitting at the house and I looked at my phone and it was like, what is this? You know what I mean? And a phrase that was very popular at the time, this is fake news. You know what I mean?
I wish it was.
Right. That's where I thought. I just did not think it was. So I went to site after site after site.
Me too.
And they kept saying it. And I was just like, all right, hold up. Let me go turn to ESPN. They haven't said it. When ESPN said it, it was like, okay. And I'm still getting that feel, like those feels right now. Like, man, you know what I mean? Like Kobe was, man, RIP, like we said, your family, and not just your family, but the other members of that flight, the other people that were affected with this. It's just, you never want to see anybody pass, and especially not in that way. And it's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. So what we don't want to downplay what they meant to all of us. We want to uplift them, and definitely want to shout out Kobe. Definitely want to shout out everything he did and all those other people that are there. So happy birthday, Kobe, man. You would have been 43, probably still been able to dominate these little young bucks on the court. I believe that. And you are better than LeBron. But hey, that's another topic. Here we go.
That little shot right there, man.
Right, little fighting words.
Hey, man.
Oh, man. Yo, shout out to Anthony Haney. He said, Ab, our mutual homie took that one really hard.
Yeah, that, like my best friend, like I'm trying to tell you, like that's like, it was one of those things, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're close to people, who's like real near and dear to his heart. So I had to shout him out, and I'm like, you good? And he's like, nah.
Yeah.
I took that. I'm taking this real hard. And I'm like, dude, I'm here for you and everything like that. And it's just like, I know it meant so much to him. Like, he idolized that man. Like, he actually played basketball like that man, even though he couldn't beat me. You know what I mean? He couldn't beat me at all.
He couldn't do that.
Don't bring that shit in here. But no, my man, he's nice with it. He's real nice with it. And his game, like, was almost the exact same as Kobe's. And I know, and he just took that to heart, and I you know what I'm saying, like, and I love that dude. Like, he's my man, bro. And honestly, it's like, still to this day, like I just try to. I know it still hurts him every time something's brought up in the media about him. So like, shout out to my dude. I'm not gonna call his name out because I ain't trying to blow his spot out, but just know I'm thinking about you, bro.
No doubt. Well, so happy birthday to him. Happy belated birthday, because it was Monday. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to something positive. Washington came out of game 2 against the Joe Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals. They're saving them for this season. Washington pulled out the W, 17-13. Had our first team in there, I believe, up till about halftime. Most of the first half. So, Will, what do you think? How do you feel like about the first team and then Heineke when he came in? How do you feel?
It's one side of the field, nice, we're ready to go. Another side of the field,
Yes.
ugh.
Yeah. Yep.
I wasn't surprised the offense struggled.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've been hearing about in camp and continuing through practice was the offense has had some rough days here and there, and the defense really has been showing up. So that part didn't surprise me. I saw some things that I really liked on defense. I really liked, Montez Sweat was just flying around. Deron Payne was looking unstoppable. We can see how much we love our young corners. And then I think we're probably gonna talk about this guy a little bit more. But boy, did Landon Collins look like a new player out there. So that was something to see. That got me so excited because I just hadn't seen it the first 2 years. And I was so excited for him to be here with how much he loved Sean Taylor. And it just seemed like, okay, this is the guy that came out of Alabama. This is the guy that was the All-Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, what I saw from Taylor Heineke, this man deserves a 5-year contract in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be a starter, but this man just showed that he is a NFL player. He is an NFL backup quarterback. I still think for now he still is that change of pace and can bring that excitement. He reminds me of Doug Flutie when Doug Flutie came back and played on the Bills.
Yeah.
And he would come into certain games, hype up the team, get them all going, rally them up. And then that was kind of like his role with it. And then I can't remember if it was Bledsoe was still there. I don't.
Was it Rob Johnson?
Was it Rob Johnson? I was going to
Yeah,
my next one. Would take back over, but Doug Flutie was able to hype him up, and that's kind of what I see Taylor Heineke. And again, I'm not calling him the next franchise quarterback, but he showed me like this dude deserves to be in the league. From here on out.
Yeah, and you mentioned it last week. You said he's a gamer, and that's exactly what it was. He came right in. He hit his first 9 passes. And another thing I saw with Tyler Heineke is they ran the no huddle. I loved that. Mm-hmm. Keep going. Keep moving with that. Like that, he proved something to me. And also Landon. I want you to speak on Landon because we had our ex-tight end that went to Cincinnati that tried to take that pass, and Landon almost chopped him in half. So definitely talk about that. But yeah, we looked all right. Talk to me.
What tight end you talking about? Which tight end?
Moss. Thaddeus Moss. Yeah.
He wasn't even in my radar, bro.
He heard the footsteps.
You know what I mean? He wasn't even in my radar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just focused on my team. But, like, no, Heineke, so Landon Collins is that dude. I mean, like, he came in this league. He came this year. It's like, put some respect on my name. Because I think we all forgot his first year on our team. He was a Pro Bowler, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had 100 tackles. Like, bro, if he wasn't a Pro Bowler, he sure as hell deserved it. You know what I'm saying? 100 tackles as safety is dumb. There's no reason. You know what I'm saying? There's 2 other layers before that even happens. And that boy is in the nitty gritty with it all. And we can't sit here and disrespect his name. And that's what he came out as y'all gonna remember me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all paid me this money for a reason. He's the truth, man. I'm excited to see him. Let me touch a little bit on Heineke. Heineke, I tell you the truth. I'll admit it. I was not a believer in Heineke, but he came out you can tell that he put in some work this offseason to try to prove everybody that I belong and I belong in football. And honestly, I love it, man. Honestly, I think I'm on that train now, man. Heineke, I still think he holds on to the ball too long. I still think those bootlegs that this man, I'm trying to tell you, the bootleg's not meant for him to run the ball 3 yards. It's not you get what I'm saying? I
remember that first boot.
It's meant for you to roll out and throw it to somebody. And this dude, for whatever reason, can't do it. I wouldn't say Fitzpatrick should do it, but if Heineke's supposed to do that, get it down the field, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's my only argument with him. But other than that, he's on the right track to doing some good stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I applaud Rivera for seeing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like last year, like he had that good playoff game, and I know, and I'm like, one good game, you're allowed one good game, but you know what I'm saying? But you don't get like an extension because of one good game, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but Ron Rivera saw is like, look, just put in some work and you might have a place. Honestly, I still think he's about a year away from anything, but honestly, there's potential there, bro. There really is. It really is. It's something nice, man.
Absolutely. And I agree with you, because I remember that first time he ran that with the play action, and he came around and it looked like he didn't even look for the receivers. He just looked like he was going to run the ball. And I was like, all right, I get it. Okay, be a gamer, but no, we need you to read. Make your reads, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think those are the things that separate him from a potential starter in the league. You know what I mean? Because look, we know what all these iffy Washington fans did. Oh, Heineke. Oh, he played up against the GOAT, and he almost won that game. Oh, we need to give him a contract. He needs to be our starter. No, pump your brakes. Okay, the guy, he can play. He's a gamer. Put him out there, and he will do some things for sure. You know what I mean? But he still has a lot to learn. He definitely does. But I honestly, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up. Our first team defense, only gave up 2 first downs. You know what I mean? Now, I know this was a backup quarterback and it wasn't Joe Burrow, but Montez Sweat, I mean, these guys looked good. Will, like, what were you thinking about that defense, man? Because
I was watching that part because, like, it was a Brandon. I mean, you do not want to see a Brandon Allen-led offense move the ball on you. Exactly. And they were sure to make sure that did not happen. And they were flying all over the place. And they were making reads and knocking down passes. And, they looked slightly intimidating out there. I mean, we've talked about a little bit about a couple of the drops out there, Was it, they were really charging. We're seeing some of the routes and coming up on them. They looked impressive. I mean, we've always been saying how excited we are from this defense. And I just think that, it's year 2 of Jack Del Rio's teaching, his coaching up, his schemes. It's like, I mean, that's what I'm super excited about for this upcoming season.
They get another year under their belt. I really like it. But, we're talking about this game. Ab, I'm shouting you out, man, because you guys were talking in the group chat about one of the things that we should potentially do, and one of those things is, oh snap, definitely gonna talk about that. One of those things we were talking about is players whose stocks are rising. You talked about it. I'm gonna let you go ahead and do it because I already know there's a couple guys that you were hyping up last week, and I believe it. They look good this past game.
All right, so this everybody, this is what I take pride in this because like I know everyone does stock up, stock down, and everything like that, but you never done it Washington Football Weekly style. You know what I'm saying? So
come on now.
I'm a little proud of this. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do stock up first and then do stock down.
Yep.
Okay. Let's do the obvious. Patterson. This dude run it all over the place, all-purpose yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, who was the last guy that that was doing the same thing that he was doing?
You mean Brian Mitchell?
There you go.
Hey, Mitch.
There you go, man.
Purpose.
I'm trying to tell you, you know what I'm saying? Brian, you don't have no utility knife like that. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, like, he looks like a what's his name?
Darren Sproles?
No, not Darren Sproles. Drew, the smaller, compact one that, like, man, I forget his name. That played for Jacksonville.
Reese Jones-Drew?
Yeah. He looked like that to me, man. And
bowling ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's just a little stocky, like just all over the place. And to me, I appreciate that, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like to me, you find a way for this man to be on your team. And honestly, like I know everybody's pumping up like Peyton Barber is a Rivera's favorite. I don't care. I do not care, bro. Like you make a place for this dude. And honestly, even if there's I think you sacrifice one of those players because I'll even say this, and this you'll see this later on the show. I think he takes the spot of someone that was on our team last year. And I'll and honestly, like because we're doing a 53-man roster,
yes, sir.
Show he takes the spot of someone's. He taking someone's spot. Let me just say that. Okay. AGG. Like I'm trying to tell you, I told y'all this dude. That's my dude, man. And honestly, I've been saying it all along.
I didn't believe you, but you did.
I don't like to say I told you so, but
yeah, come on, yeah, right.
But no, like honestly, there was a fire lit under his ass after he saw Calvin Harmon get released, and that was because that kind of hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Like I really thought he deserved a spot on his team, man. I talk all day. I talk his praise all day, but like it's just. He did look slow, and honestly, it's just there's not a spot on his team because we got some ballers now at wide receiver. So, but AGG is like, look, I'm taking that last spot, and no one's taking it, and he showed out, man. And it's against second stringers, you know what I'm saying, like third stringers, whatever. But this is NFL football, bro. Like, don't sleep on this, okay? And to me, all the other receivers are except for Sims. All our other receivers are barely like 6 feet. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we need to me, we need the size. He's 6'4", I believe. So we just need that big strong. And one of these catches, I'm trying. It was a 2-point conversion that he had in the game, and they were like. He has some strong hands. Like he deboed the ball.
Didn't look at
somebody. Like you know what I'm saying? Boy, get off me, little man. Like you know what I'm saying? And he just deboed. They were talking about his strong hands. And honestly, that right there is what we need. We need some, and they need to start doing those jump balls like they did to Calvin Johnson. Mm-hmm. Like you know what I'm saying? Like do some of those and like. He'll find a spot on this team. You know what I'm saying? He'll be your touchdown maker right there. McTire, honestly, that boy been balling this whole preseason, and
he got him some spot.
He's got a spot, man. Honestly, and I'll tell you the truth. I didn't know we were but we're kind of loaded at defensive back, bro. Like I'm not. We are pretty loaded. Like our top, 4 or 5, we got like 5 potential starters on our team. You know what I'm saying? So McTire, he's definitely got a spot on our team. And I'll say this: Heineke, stock up, boy. That boy, like we just talked about it earlier. That boy just he doing something, man. He's making people respect that name. And just to dig deeper into the backup linebackers, I feel like they had a strong game. I really did. Like these Mayo, especially. I think he was just he was all over the place with stats. He had 4 total tackles, 2 solo. That dude is honestly, I think he's going to be good. Because linebackers can't go the whole game, especially if the offense is out there all the time. And linebackers they should be all over the place. So Mayo's we're gonna need him. Yeah. And I told you guys, defensive lineman was defensive end was one of my weak points. There's a dude named Wise that was showing out at the game too. Yeah. He was all over the place, man. I think he had a fumble recovery too, or something like that. Yeah, man. The dude looked good. He really did. And I know this is against second stringers and everything, but no, this dude was good, bro. And honestly, he was like, yeah, he stepped up, and that's what you need. And you need players to step up.
Right. I like that. Will, what you think, man?
Not much I can really add there, you know. It's a good thing we get. Let's just call this Ab segment. Stock rising, Ab. Who's up? You did a great job with that.
Thanks, man.
But one of the things I about Patterson that I thought was so important was his kick return ability. And when you say Brian Mitchell, I listened to him on, I think it was Monday. The game was Friday. They were talking about it. And Brian Mitchell says when he looks at kick returners or punt returners or either, he said it's, do you start going forward or do you start dancing to the side? And Patterson caught the ball and took off. Yep. And that's what impressed me is he just, he was fearless out there. And I think that was, we get to our 53, that changed some things, seeing that.
Yes.
I think that affected even some of our what happened to a couple of guys who are no longer here type thing. Like he bumped guys off the team, including even other positions because they said,
we gotta make a spot.
Need to keep this guy, and now someone else is now expendable. So that was huge. With McTyer, like you mentioned, McTyer, Moreland, and St. Juice, they were out there as our starters. And like you said, what we were so concerned coming to the offseason is our corner depth. We also went, these guys can play. Yeah. Jimmy Moreland had that pass breakup, could have or probably should have been an interception. The guys were dogging him for not trying to catch the ball. They were reading routes all day. I was so impressed with those young corners out there. And then the other guy, and this again goes with this is so important to us. And by doing this allows us to take some risks and gambles on some undrafted free agent players and not keep as many guys. Sadiq Charles played right tackle during the game. I hadn't heard anything about him playing tackle. I heard him playing a little bit of left tackle and mostly guard. And he was out there at right tackle and showing, and he didn't seem to have a problem at all. It's like now with that, as Ron Rivera calls it, position flex means if we got someone like and a backup for Charles being able to play guard or tackle, now there's a spot for someone who maybe probably isn't ready to play, but we're going to keep him on our roster so that he's ours. So that's huge. That's huge to me.
Oh yeah. Hey guys, I can't say anything else past that. Heineke, look, I love what Heineke did. Absolutely. I felt like that, coming in and got himself on a rhythm. Definitely agree with you that I would like to see him pass more, but I mean, that's, I'm pulling straws. I don't need that. Like Heineke did a great job. Patterson in 2 games has 200 total yards. Okay. I know it's just preseason, but that's production. Okay. Now, we're not going to put him in front of Gibson. I mean, he's playing for his part, but putting him in on a 3rd down, making him like Chris Thompson or making him like one of these other scat guys that you can put out on the screen, hit them with that quick draw, and they can get up in there and make some moves. And then adding that kick returner, he has the size and he has the speed of another man. And I'm not saying he's like him, but I'm just saying he has the size and the speed. And this man started at kick returner. Mr. Barry Sanders, my guy. You know what I mean? He has look. Jared Patterson has something where it's like, get me on the field. I'm ready to play. I don't need to say anything to anybody. Let's just go. And he's been available. He's been available and he's doing it. I absolutely love what we got with him. And I definitely agree that he's, some other people might have got the chop because they said we need to find a spot for Mr. Patterson. McTyer balling out. St. Just balling out. I love that our younger guys are balling out. One guy that I have been looking at, I don't know if he's going to make the team. I definitely went back and forth over him for the 53-man roster. Number 79, Justice Reed. I don't know if you saw that first game. I know. He would be. He's not going to make. But at that first game, he's cut. Oh, he already.
Yeah, and he cut.
I thought he was going to.
I was like,
I didn't see that.
saying? He just got
I don't know what his number is, but that dude from Virginia Tech just got cut yesterday, dude.
Oh well, if he did, I didn't see him on that list. But if he did, all right, well there it is. Well, there that cuts that out. Some other team is gonna pick him up. And look, hey, look, and if you got cut, it don't matter because as we saw, our ex-receiver, Mr. Steven Sims Jr., just got picked up by Buffalo. You know what I mean? So what, if anything, this has done is made tape for people. And hopefully he gets in the job. I liked him. You know what? I was about to get myself a jersey after that first preseason game. But anyway, moving on. I like the guy. I'm not gonna talk about it. Don't look at me like that, Am.
Wait. You were gonna get a Justin Reed jersey?
No. But I was saying he was balling out, and I turned to like him. That's all I was saying. Moving on, Ab. No, going on. Stock is dropping. Ab, who on your stock is dropping?
Okay, so I'm not long-winded on this one, guys. Like, cause I don't like to put down players. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me stop lying. Like, honestly, this part, but if you're playing bad, I'm gonna say you're playing bad. You know what I'm saying? And before he was cut, he was my number one stock down was Sims Jr. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't make himself known, especially like he had a 16-yard kick return. But like you were saying, Will, like what do you do when you catch the ball on a kick return? Like honestly, more importantly, what do you do on a punt return? I think punt return is more dangerous than kick return. And it's just one of those things. It's just that he didn't get the opportunity to do punt return because there was only one punt in the game. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we couldn't see anything right there. But his one time at kick return, he went for 16 yards. And, I mean, that's not bad. It really isn't bad. But at the same time, it's just that he didn't make himself known. He didn't stand out. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, like, in the game that you needed to stand out at, he didn't do it. And I'll even add that a little bit more. Stock down on slot receivers. Like I'm trying to tell you, like Humphreys is in the mix. Humphreys is like, I'm trying to tell you guys, I made this prediction at the beginning, and honestly, he is proving me right now. And when it comes out that this boy don't make the team, I'm just standing and look at y'all like. Like, I'm just trying to tell you, I know y'all don't think it, but I'm trying to tell you, this boy is acting like he's a lock, and he's just not making these catches, and it's disappointing, man. It really is. And I understand it's a veteran minimum contract, but you got to do something to show us why we're paying you. And you know what I'm saying, especially in a competitive position like wide receiver, like there's someone coming for your spot, and it just seems like a veteran minimum contract is expendable, real easy to get rid of. Like that, like y'all, like I know that's the argument, we paid them, but no, it's very easy to get rid of a veteran minimum contract, especially if someone shows the hell out. You got Will, you were talking about it last week, a safety last year, like we put in, it was supposed to be our starter, and he didn't even make the team.
Davis, yeah.
Right? So, and this is my last one, guys. Like I told you, it's real short. Apke. Boy, that boy is garbage, bro. Like, I don't even know why he switched positions, bro. Like, he went from an easier position to a harder position, and then thinking that he was going to do something. Like when that boy, what happened? Like it was, he reached over Apke and was like, "Bitch," and grabbed the ball over him. Like I was like, "Damn!" Like that was a disappointment to me. I don't think Apke makes the team, man. Like to me, like you know what I'm saying? Like he should stay at safety because that was his best shot at making the team. I understand y'all versatility, and he wants to be like, maybe he can be that Swift. They can go back and forth with him, like we need you at safety, or no, we need you at cornerback. Nah, bro, like there's no room. Like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't even think he's capable of making the practice squad. Like You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think we have room for him, and his stock is way down to me, like real way. Excuse me, real way down. Like it's bad, bro. Like next cuts, he's the first one that they're like, okay, yeah, we don't need you, bro.
Oof. There we go. Will, what you thinking, man?
Oh man, this is gonna be fun. So I held back last time because I was going to go to my 53 and to unveil it. I've got Troy Apke as stock is up.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say a couple things. I no longer watch all 4 quarters of a preseason game. I do not watch third string versus third strings out there. For all my life, I have. And I get so hyped over these guys. And I fall for Marcus Mason and Marco Mitchell and you name the other guys. And then I cannot understand when they don't show up in the regular season and they get cut and I just get devastated. So I told myself this year, you're going to watch enough to where the guys who are going to be on to kind of go matchups. So I watched a little bit into the third quarter and then I stopped. So if Apke sucked after I watched him, then I missed it. Then I missed all of it. I'll admit that.
I'm sure he did.
Because what I saw was someone who was aggressive out there. He was sniffing out some routes and coming up hard on guys. I did see, I think, a play he got beat on something. I definitely saw something. It might have been that catch you talked about. He got like ran over or something like that.
It was a great catch by the receiver. Like I'm trying to tell you, like it was on the verge of like pass interference.
That was the play they called. Yes, they called penalty on him. Yeah. He had his arms like all wrapped around him.
And he still made the catch though.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Well, and then Jack Del Rio today in his press conference, though, he highlighted him about like, this guy's really coming on. We really are impressed with him making that transition because of his speed. So I'll be honest, I have him on the 53, and I never thought he had a chance this year. When they moved him to corner, I'm like, this guy's got no chance. And just more I've been seeing, I've been hearing folks talk about him coming on. My stock has fallen is guys not there. Guys aren't there playing. Tamarick Hemingway, I know he's dealing with the concussion, and you can't fault him for that, but he's in a battle for a roster spot.
Yep. Right.
And as a result, the guy who didn't do something last week did something this week, and that was Ricky Seals-Jones. Mm-hmm. You were ahead of him on the depth chart. You were number 2 on the depth chart going in, and now this last game, I hope he's on the field because he's got to prove himself. David Sharp, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Guess who conveniently came off the injured list this week? Missed 2 games. Charles is taking your spot at right tackle. Lucas is at left tackle. Where are you going to play, buddy?
Right.
So, and then the other one is Casey Toohill. He's in a battle to be a backup defensive end, and he has not played yet. If you're not on the field, you're not going to make the roster.
He correct me if I'm wrong. He came into camp as one of the favorites too. Like, you know what I'm saying, as a backup to Chase and Montez.
Yeah, not happening. Not happening.
Not making it.
Not if you can't play.
Right.
I was disappointed in Steven Sims Jr. too. Ab, you said it in our text thread. He seemed to show no heart this preseason. Like he almost maybe knew, listen, I'm not making this team. I'm not even gonna try maybe. And you saw it on that punt return. Like he just kind of danced and then got around. And I was so excited not excited, I can't say that. I was intrigued to watch him in preseason because I'm like, you're fighting for a roster. The odds are against you. Are you going to show up? And he just didn't show any of that electrifying speed and playmaking that we saw 2 years ago that got us so excited.
Yeah.
The other one that has me slightly concerned as a stock down is Cam Sims' catching ability.
Mm-hmm.
And he fumbled.
Yeah,
and he fumbled. You talk about AGG making that play. Taylor Heineke threw a perfect touchdown pass to Cam Sims. I think it might have been a little bit of a jump ball. He didn't get his feet down. He bobbled the ball. Mm-hmm. And even after bobbling the catch, then he switched it to hands and it fell out. And it wasn't even. I think they might have even tried to challenge that. If I can't,
was that the one where he got the forearm down?
Yeah, that's the one. If that's the one you're talking about, that was actually a catch. It was just his momentum was just out. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, and with the player on top of him, like, it literally, he did everything that he could to put that. If anything, that's a vying play for him. Like, I think it was a good play, tell you the truth. Like, he did everything he could to try to get in bounds, but just the momentum was carrying him out of bounds, especially with the player on top of him. Like, I'm trying to tell you, 95% of the league wouldn't have made that catch, and he did. You know what I'm saying?
My concern with it was, it wasn't a clean catch, and I've seen that from him last year. I think he was our second leading receiver in catches from the wide receiver position.
Yes.
Yeah. But it seemed like certain times plays, it just wouldn't be a clean catch and go. It was bobbled, and then he'd grab it in. That's just when I saw that, and he dropped it. It's like, man, I mean, it's a catchable ball. That's 6 points right there. That's a big difference. We don't want to be putting Dustin Hopkins out there. For God's sakes. So those are kind of my stock downs. The only thing I will say to y'all, and because I'm not saying you guys are incorrect, but I have not heard any reporter who's around the team mention anything about Adam Humphries' roster in trouble. And so we'll see, obviously, come next week. Whereas they did talk about Sean Davis not really meshing, but they're like, but he's a veteran, they're going to play him. And then all of a sudden, everyone got surprised. So I see it. I mean, there's questionables out there with Adam Humphries.
Let me take this one.
On there?
Let me take it out.
You got it?
I got this.
Okay, go ahead.
I got one name on this list, okay? And that's Adam Humphries. All right? This man has played himself out of a job.
Yo, it's so wrong, man. He started week one.
Every opportunity he has had to make a catch, he's been terrible. No, I was fighting Ab all the way up to through the first game. I was like, no, Adam Humphries gonna make it. That last game, I have it on both notepads. I watched that thing. I've been recording all of them, so I watched it over, and I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'm like, bro, you are just like you. It's like you say, Ab. He just is like, well, I don't have to do anything. I've got a job.
He's a roster lock.
No. With how Ron is talking about how there's a competition, I think he's one of those that they're gonna think about, and they're gonna be like, bro, you might need to go, especially if these other guys move up. Now, Cam Sims, not, it's going to be between them, because I do feel like, that fact that he's the vet and the fact that he's comfortable with the quarterback, that's the only reason why I would say that they would try to keep that. But it's not, he's playing like he don't want to be on the team personally. That's how I look at that. Honestly, with everybody else, Sharp, I know. Jeremy Reeves, have you guys seen much of him?
No,
I have not seen much of him at all, honestly. And I was I was looking forward to him this year, and I have not seen much of him. So, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the safety position is kind of deep, bro. Like it's real deep over there, and just defensive back in general is deep. Like, honestly, most rosters carry like 10, maybe 10 defensive backs, and it's just real deep. He might not have a spot, bro.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you're not getting on the field and you're not getting this play time, look, if people don't have anything on you and they don't have anything to judge you on, it's an easy decision. You know what I mean? You talked about Sharp not being out there. Tamarick Hemingway, the only film we have of him is the first game, and he didn't play great at all in that first one. You know what I mean? So that's something where I'm like, look, if you're not on the field, if you're not able to put together a tape to at least help you in the future, it's not working. So those are my stock downs. And honestly, I think coming up, we will definitely tell in a little few minutes our mock 53, so we can really see who we think is their stock is way down, and they're gonna suffer because of it.
I might have to wear an Adam Humphries jersey week 1 so I can show y'all. Here we go.
Let me add this. So you were saying that you haven't heard anything about Adam Humphries' job being in jeopardy and everything like that, right, Will?
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about Adam Humphries doing a good job in camp?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
So that's my argument right there. This boy is not he's not making himself noticeable in camp either.
Right.
Like, to your argument, it's just he's not doing what I'm trying to tell you. This boy, he has, when you feel like you don't have to work, that's how you move, and that's what it just seems like that's what he's doing.
Yeah, he's playing for that. But look, we got to move on, man. We are going to move on to really quickly the longest running segment on Washington Football Weekly. Like it, love it, or
hated it.
Yes, sir. And look, this week is going to be very simple. If you notice, they had the top 100 come out with a number of great players that were on the list, but also some surprising names that were kind of off the list. Not too surprising because last year they might not have got some play time. But we know 98? I think it was Brandon Sheriff. He got on there. Yeah. And then 61, we got Chase Young. He was on there. But somebody that they curiously left off the list, Will, I'm coming to you. Terry McLaurin was left off the top 100s list. Will, the disrespect, man. How you feel about this?
This is a story of this guy's career. You know, no one like hypes this guy up, and maybe it's a product of him not hyping himself up. He just goes about and does his business, scores touchdowns, runs back. You know, that maybe he's not as well known. The thing that's kind of surprised me about this list is, excuse me, it was voted on, I believe, by the players. Mm-hmm. So any other time, if they had done a top 100 list and all this stuff, to me, it's like, this is off season trying to get my attention. I'm not going to listen to this. But the fact that these are players voting for it, and we've heard guys, Darius Slay now with the Eagles, when he was with the Lions, he said the toughest game he had in McLaurin's rookie year was the game against him. And he said, I had to be on ready to go. And when he got traded to the Eagles, he said, well, I know 2 times, during the season, I know a guy I got to go up against and then really be on it. So that part's surprising. But as we both know, you cannot tell me that Cole Beasley and Corey Davis are better than Terry McLaurin. And if Terry McLaurin was a free agent this year, that he would not have surpassed, Corey Davis's contract if he was available. So, yeah. I was kind of like just disrespecting him.
It's definitely disrespect. And Ab, to Will's point, you have, Corey Davis and Cole Beasley, who Terry McLaurin definitely did better than them in stats. But then you have some receivers that we know was good receivers from last couple years, and Allen Robinson, Godwin from Tampa Bay, Adam Thielen, Tyler Lockett. These are all good receivers from past years. But Terry McLaurin played up to level, if not better, than them last year. So, I mean, what case do these guys really have that he didn't make the list?
So if we're talking productions, let's just say if we're talking receptions or we're talking yardage, I'm saying, or yards per catch, you know what I'm saying? But if we're talking yardage, Terry McLaurin is number 13, 1,118 yards. And since our arguments of Cole Beasley had 967 yards compared to Corey Davis, that was number 20, and he had 984 yards. If you're a bait, I'm trying, so I made this comment to Sean. It's a popularity contest, but then at the same time, it's just almost these are with the players too. So what are the what are the players really looking at? What are they you know what I'm saying? If this is from this season, why is he not on the list at all? And I also want to bring up the argument on why they picked Cole Beasley and Cole Beasley and Corey Davis. We all know what 2,000-yard receivers can do for a team. It could potentially put you into the playoffs. So Corey Davis had AJ Brown, and then Cole Beasley had Stephon Diggs. So those potentially 2,000-yard receivers can put you into the playoffs. And I'm sitting there just like, is that what they're really looking at? Is that the stock right there? But how about 1,000 yards with like 18 different quarterbacks? Like,
Right.
how is that not something that
Exactly.
like is like, damn, that's impressive, bro?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there's a certain chemistry that you have to have with your quarterback in order to make any kind of production at that. And and for Terry McLaurin to do that, not just 1 year, but 2 years of doing that. Come on, man. Like, what are we really doing? Like, how are you like this? Like you guys said it, this is disrespectful. And it's even more disrespectful because it's not just like other popularity contests, like the news, like the media actually doing this, like picking the all pro teams. This is the players, man.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these players know what's going on, and they really just shit on this man. Like, it's like again, I'm not trying to sit there and be like make a big deal about top 100, but you really shit on this man. Number 13 with 18 different quarterbacks, and still getting the production out of that. It's insane, man. And honestly, it should be more respected.
How many touchdowns did Cole Beasley had last year? I'm sure Corey Davis had more than Terry. I think one of the arguments was Terry only had, I think, 3 touchdowns last year, or one of the.
Cole Beasley only had 4.
See, that makes no sense. Then there's no way you can't.
Come on.
The numbers don't lie in that situation.
Yeah.
Corey Davis, I think, had like 8 a bunch. Huh?
McLaurin had 4.
He had 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on now. See.
Yeah. Corey Davis 5. So
it makes 5?
Yeah.
Huh. I feel like he was like a fantasy stud last year.
Yeah. Maybe yards.
If you get about 1,000 yards, you know what I'm saying? That's, I mean, it's nothing to snicker at. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So.
Right. And hey, look, I mean, you said it, man. You have 87 catches. You have over 1,100 yards on that list. Statistically, he's better than Beasley, better than Corey Davis. And as far as need and team, you know what I mean? He's definitely more valuable than both of them on their respective teams. I mean, they got other studs in other positions, but McLaurin is our everything. You know what I mean? Ab, you mentioned 18 different quarterbacks. Yes. And let's be honest, these are all middle of the road quarterbacks. We're not talking about when he had Aaron Rodgers and he got hurt. You know what I mean? They are, we got that right there. So he's doing that all from a 3rd round pick. And Will, to your point, he doesn't say anything. We talked about it earlier in the year. They had that interception by Hardy when we played the Cowboys, and he runs him down, tackles him at the 1 yard line, and then just runs back to the sidelines. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't do it. He comes into work. What did they have at Virginia Tech? The lunch pail. He's that type of guy. Comes into work, gets his stuff, eats, he's quiet, he does his thing, puts in his work, and comes home. Reminds me of the work ethic of an Art Monk. Very quiet, but very on top of his game.
Great comparison.
And he's somebody that you want to follow. He's somebody that you want to tell your kids, hey, that's who you want to be like. He's a hard worker. He does his thing. I think this is totally 100% disrespectful. And look, I understand Cole Beasley. I like him. I know he's a threat. He's a fantasy threat. I get that. You know what I mean? Corey Davis, he had his numbers. He did good last year. But McLaurin's better than them. I'm sorry. And with what he had to work with, I mean.
And McLaurin's the number 1. Let's just be real about that. McCoy's the number 1. And these guys are maybe number 2s. Like, it's just like you really can't sit there and compare to that. And like, just like you, and the argument is, how much do you mean to that team? You know what I'm saying? I think I think Tennessee would have done okay without Corey, and I think the Bills were sure as shit would have done fine without Beasley. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what are we really talking about? What is this based on? You know, like it's insane to sit there and to compare like Terry didn't do anything. It's just it's disrespectful. You guys said it already, yeah.
The disrespect. So we hate this, you know, but we got to move on. We're not going to spend that much time on this stuff because we know what y'all came for, ladies and gentlemen. We know why you guys are here.
Here we go.
If you saw the video, we talked about we will do our final 53-man mock roster. These two guys have been waiting.
I'm excited, bro. I'm so excited. Like, you don't even understand, bro.
Peggy Wrights are on the line. And ladies and gentlemen, I will say this. I do not have 12 offensive linemen. That's all we say. All right? Let's get into this. And we're going to go with the easiest position to look into special teams. Special teams. We got Dustin Hopkins as our kicker, who had a struggle in the first game, but definitely came back. We've talked about him, that he's working towards, if we got to work on that consistency, but he's there. And and a lot of it is timing. He's got a new long snapper, Cameron Cheeseman out of Michigan. You know, he's getting that stuff together after he had, what was the guy's name they had before that was the long snapper for years?
Oh,
Sundberg, yes. You know, after he left. So getting that stuff together is huge. And then, wait. I got this. Hold up. And then my guy, where is it? There it is.
Sleeping night cause I'm thinking about the next day. Thinking like, can it be the best day? She looking like she like the way I dress, I be kicking it like my name is Tressway.
My name is Tressway. Yo, Tressway. And I mentioned it to you guys. I know you guys got on me, but I definitely mentioned it that I thought he should have made it. Maybe he'll make the kickers and the punters top 20 or whatever.
I love a Tressway jersey, man. I love it. Hey,
Tressway, man, people love this guy. He's a humanitarian, does great work. So I think we're all pretty solid on those three, correct?
Tressway is the most liked player on our team, bro. Absolutely. Like, honestly, and if I'm being real, he should have been Pro Bowler probably the last 5 years, bro.
Yeah, he's great.
Yes, most definitely. All right, to hop off of that, we're going to jump into quarterbacks. And shout out to Anthony Handy, still watching. He said Willie Beeman, second string. Then second string, we have Uncle Rico. And third string, we got Al Bundy. So, hey, there you go.
Let me add this little tidbit on our special teams. I'm sorry. Dustin Hopkins, I think if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do in this third game, then he might be searching for another job because kicker got released from the Colts recently. And he's no slouch either. So I think if Dustin Hopkins is on a short leash, let's just say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's on my three, but that's only because there's no other options right now. But literally, I'm putting this out in the universe. If he messes up in this third game, that's his ass. And he's I'm surprised we haven't picked up that kicker yet. If I'm being honest.
Right. All right. So moving to the next, probably easiest, quarterback. Ab, how you feel about what's your quarterback slot like?
So honestly, because this is the art of making a 53-man roster is basically saying what's the normal amount of players at each position. And honestly, Kyle Allen, we just haven't seen too much out of this man. And honestly, is he back from his ankle injury and everything like that? So, but I understand that we traded a 5th-round pick for him a year ago for him. And to me, it's just suspect. Obvious Ryan Fitzpatrick, obvious Taylor Heineke. They've been through the nitty-gritty all season. But that last third spot, that's the question. Kyle Allen, do we continue with him? And I say we do. I think he's on the inactive list every week, though. But we do continue with Kyle Allen. We do have three quarterbacks.
Yeah. Will, you feel the same? Or how you feel?
I mean, I don't even think it was a question. All my timeline on Twitter was blowing up after the game about how well Kyle Allen looked in the like I said, fourth quarter. I didn't watch it, but yeah, no, I think so too. Yeah, 3 quarterbacks, which is the norm is trending to 2, but I think they will keep 3.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I had. Montez. Sorry, I didn't. When I saw that, and it was funny because I was talking to Kat, and they were like, "Oh, well, Montez is in the game." I was like, "No, Kyle Allen's hurt." This is talking about the first game against Patriots. I was like, Kyle Allen's hurt. Montez is in because they don't have anybody else.
Right.
And they're not going to get the first 2 injured. So that's the only reason so whatever he does right now is pointless unless Kyle Allen is done. Montez, so he's cut off mine. But yeah, Fitz starting, Heineke number 2, Kyle Allen number 3. All right, Will, coming to you, running backs. What you got? 4. Ooh.
We know who they are: Gibson, McKissick, Barber, and Patterson.
Yep.
I think that they want Gibson to turn into a 3-down back. They played Gibson on Friday on 3rd down to see, hey, can this guy get the short yardage? Because I think they would like him to. But we got to remember, Gibson is only in his 2nd year as a running back. He played wide receiver in college. And so I just don't think he's there yet. And so therefore I do think they will keep around Ron's favorite player, who is Peyton Barber, to get his 1 to 2 yards that moves the chain. So I did go for it.
Wow. What you thinking?
So I agree with everything that Will is saying. Like, honestly, I think they are striving for a 3-down back for Antonio Gibson, to where he doesn't need J.D. McKissick or Peyton Barber anymore. You know what I'm saying? So we could actually have some flexibility there, but I do disagree because I think he's almost there. I disagree with I think he's almost there, and I think they see that. And I'm trying to tell. I was telling you earlier in the show. I think Jared Patterson made a spot on this team. I don't think we go 4. I'll say we only go 3. I think Jared Patterson is a miniature Antonio Gibson, and I think he's going to be sufficient. And I think Peyton Barber gets cut, but I almost want to say this. I think things, guys. I think with the oncoming of Jared Patterson, I think J.D. McKissick might get traded or something like that. So that's just something to put out into the universe. But for this practice purpose, we only have 3: Gibson, McKissick, and Patterson.
Well, for me, it was numbers, and since I obviously needed more linemen, somebody had to get the chop. Okay, so Mr. Barber, I apologize. I know you're Ron's guy. I know all that, but the way Patterson played, Gibson has number 1. I think Gibson is multifaceted. He can run, he can receive. And you have that, and that's being the theme. The running backs that can also catch the ball. I know Patterson can do. I know McKissick can do as far as receiving. And Gibson, you mentioned Will, he was a receiver in college. So I think those 3 will suffice, honestly. And I like the way that runs with just those 3 and go with that. I will move on to tight ends, and I will start here. For me, I kept 4. Hemingway, I think, lost it for me. I think he got cut. You know, we saw how he played in the first game and then not being able to play last game. I understand the concussion protocol. I've had many. Okay, yes, I can still think and see, but what that does to you, and then not being on the field in the NFL in this, you can't justify it. So I got Logan Thomas number 1, Bates I have number 2. I think Ricky Seals-Jones definitely got in there and made a case for himself because of the opportunity. And Samus Reyes, I think he got it. I think he'll stay on the team. Ab, what you think?
So here's another one I had to make a hard decision on. You know what I'm saying? And to me is I agree with what you were saying. Logan Thomas 1, John Bates 2. And just like you said, availability. And I'm going to have to say this too, because Ron put this out in the news earlier, just roster spots drafts where you were picked in the draft doesn't guarantee a roster spot. I think I disagree with that a little bit. And I know Reyes wasn't drafted, but this man, it kind of hit home with the players or not players, but the fans. And he's a popular person out there. Everyone is rooting for this man. Yeah. And even though he's in the concussion protocol right now, in the non-availability of Hemingway, and I don't think Ricky Seals-Jones, if there was a 4th spot for him, I don't think he's proved to be number 3. So I think they keep Samus Reyes. If anything, they keep him on the active roster and make him inactive, or they just try to hide him for the whole year on the IR list. So, but right now I have him making the number 3 spot, Reyes.
Mm-hmm. Will, what you think?
All right, before I get to my tight ends, Nathan, get the names right. It's J.D. McKissick. What is this McKissick that he's throwing up here? Come on now.
Hard Washington fan.
Learn the names.
Hey, stall him out, man. Like he's a Ravens fan, you know.
I have 3.5. Who's your half? Who's your half guy?
If you're gonna take shots, I'm gonna come right back at you. So Sean, I got the same ones as you. And with the idea that I would love. No, I can't say I would love. I'd be curious to see if Reyes. I think he's back at practice plays this week. Because can you do the Joe Gibbs? We're going to put you on IR for the year, and then you're not a roster spot. But I think Reyes shows too much potential. And they talked him up too much after that first preseason game to where someone's going to pick him up. He's not going to get on your practice squad. So you have to keep him.
Right.
But the problem with Reyes is he's not ready should John Bates go down. You can't run 2 tight end sets with him right now. And so I think you have to have a third. I'm going with Ricky Seals-Jones for now, but we talked about this when we did our first 53. This could be the waiver wire pickup where Ricky Seals-Jones makes the roster week 1, but by week 2 we got someone else in there. I'm not sold on him, but I think he's the next in line of could this guy play. So yeah, I got 4 as well, which is more than I was anticipating.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys got to consider too that the flexibility of the practice squad that they got now, I think that's still carryover from last year where they have veterans on the practice squad and everything like that. So I think that's a factor that needs to be put in there. I'm not too sure about the rules, but maybe they can put Ricky Seals-Jones can be if he's eligible to be on the practice squad. I know he'll slide if we release him, and he'll get to the practice squad. Right. But Reyes, I agree with you on that. He won't. Honestly, and that's what I feel. I feel that if they're trying to keep this player, either they put him on the 53 or they just say he's in concussion protocol and he needs to be on the IR for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know So last year they took out the veteran rules, but there used to be practice squad was like, if you've been in the league 2 years or more, 3 years or more, you can't be a practice squad eligible. They took it out last year for COVID. I don't know what they brought in, although I do know, like you're talking about Ricky Seals-Jones, they are allowing you to protect more players on your practice squad and promote them a couple times before you either have to keep them or cut them. And so, like you said, that you could play this shuffle game, that where you're moving players up and down. So that's a great point of, could you cut Ricky Seals-Jones, put him on the practice squad, activate him on game day as your practice squad pickup, and inactive Samus Reyes, and you keep another player. That's great. That's good thinking.
Yes.
That's the good shit. Right
Yo,
Thank you.
there we go. Yo, so hey, we gotta move on, and hey, it's coming right to you, Ab. You already know where this is going. The position battle you've been talking about all off season. Wide receivers. Av, how many you got, and who are they?
All right, first off, let me see how many you guys got. How many you guys got? You got 7?
Yeah.
I got 6.
You got 6?
Yeah.
I have 6 too. All right, I have 6. And I'm like I said, it's like I'm trying to and the reason so let me just put this off. Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuels, De'Ami Brown. I think those are locks.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 3 locks. So that leaves 3 more names for me. I so wanted to have 7, but honestly, I think we needed more help in other positions, and I'll explain why later.
On the O-line. Yep, I agree.
Actually, the reason why I skimped on 7 for wide receiver was because it was special teams purposes.
Gotcha,
so that's the reason why I did it. I have 6, and so the next 3 are. I think you need your big men. I've been saying this the whole time. So Cam Sims and AGG. So now 6th spot is left open for one final player. And I'm gonna just say it like this. And this man did enough to take another man's job. Dax Milne.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I think he took enough. And so just so you guys know that I'm not totally hating on Humphreys, he's my number 7. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's like, to me, I don't think that's bad, but I think Dax Milne, like, you know what I'm saying? We drafted him and like he showed out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like and to me, if we release him and then put him on the practice squad, I don't think he makes it on our team again. I think the Jets might pick him up, like, you know what I'm saying, because they're already trying to push out Crowder. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I think
that's what I'm saying. Come on back
and bring a Zach Wilson and a Dax Milne connection again, bro. Yeah, dude, I think the Jets will, like, literally they would push out Crowder for Milne in a second. And just to tell you guys, Adam Humphries just hasn't done it. Like, he just hasn't done it this preseason. He hasn't done it in practice, and he doesn't deserve a spot, in my opinion. And Isaiah Wright is my number 8, but I think he can put him again on the practice squad. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, he didn't have a lot of production. He didn't say, hey, keep me on the team this year. I mean, he made some plays, but not enough to stay on this team. Dax Milne, I think he's done enough in practice and in the game in order to stay on this team.
I would agree with that. Will, what you think?
Yeah, so I went more here than I anticipated. I did not think about that I would need to have 6 or 7 when they kept cutting some guys. So yeah, I went McLaurin, I went Samuel, number 3 receiver, Adam Humphries. Number 4, De'Ami Brown. And part of it was Curtis Samuel's not on the field.
Yes.
He said he can take over the slot. Well, he ain't on the field to take the slot.
Right.
You know, it's like, we got to get this guy going. Fifth, number 5 wide receiver, I went Cam Sims. And so
Okay.
those all along, I kind of felt they were the locks. And from everything I've heard and read, that seems to be the case. AGG played his way onto the team. And I thought that was going to be a battle between him or Kelvin Harmon, and we clearly saw who won that out. And the 7th guy is going to be on the roster for now, but could be replaced within weeks. I have Deandre Carter for his kick returning capabilities.
Yep.
Because Jarrett Patterson became a kick returner last week, and I think Carter may also serve as our punt returner. And so I see AGG being inactive every week, but Carter being on the active roster just for that possibility. So therefore, that's why I went with 7 there.
Let me say this. I was going back and forth with that, but again, the reason why I only put 6 is for again, special teams purposes. So I understand why you picked Carter for that, but I think you'll see. You'll see.
His skill set can be played elsewhere. We'll have to see who you said it is.
I do see why you did that. So that's why I'm not shitting on your list at all. I do see why you did that.
I don't love putting him on there, but right now it's like that's why I said he could easily be an early cut, and someone else can handle it. And we don't need you, but yeah.
Right.
Let's see it, Sean.
Yeah. So I got 6 as well. McLaurin. Samuel, even though he hasn't been playing, I got him. De'Ami Brown. Okay. I also have AGG, and then I have Dax Milne, and then I have Carter. I also have Carter for that punt return thing.
So Cam Sims don't make it for you?
He don't make it for me. He don't make it for me. To me personally, I saw that catch, but I'm not seeing enough from him. And honestly, when Steven Sims got cut and Harmon got cut, Harmon was one of the guys that I had thought was going to make the squad. So that made me kind of change how I looked at it. And then it was kind of, what can you do for me? We talked about last week, Carter and Milne kind of doing other things. Carter, I know he's really special teams right now, and he's got to stick with that. But to have him there, I think will be good. Milne, they're going to find a spot for. And Harmon, we need size. You hit it on the head. We need size. So to have not Harmon, AGG.
Why are you cutting him? Why are you cutting size then?
Because
Cam Sims is huge.
I know he's huge, but I could have one size and one not. And plus, I needed something for this next part. I needed an extra lineman. So somebody on the receiver side had to get a cut. Okay, and since all of and the other way I look at it is with the receivers, we also have 3 running backs. With 3 running backs I have: Gibson, McKissick, in case he's watching, and Patterson. All 3 of them are receiving running backs. They can all catch the ball out of the backfield, and I think that's going to play a major role. I think Patterson really, with his ability to have all-purpose yards, running and receiving, and now special teams, he cut some people that might not have as many other roles, and I think Sims is going to get the cut from that. My opinion, but here we go.
I agree with that. I can see that.
Now we're going to go ahead and move on to my favorite spot. Will, coming to you. Offensive line, baby.
Shouldn't you be taking this?
I will jump on this real quick. Let's go. Now I have 10. Yes, you heard it right, 10. But ladies and gentlemen, if you watched the first mock draft we did, I believe I had 12, and I was hanging on to a 13th. I definitely had him on call. I had him on call, like, hey, just in case, come on back. I narrowed it down to 10 because of some other positions that I thought we needed. So I have Charles Leno. I have Schweitzer, Roulier, Brandon Scherf, Sam Cosmi. I like what Sadiq did, him playing. I thought that was solid. Sadiq Charles. Eric Flowers, I think he's doing. Lucas getting back in the fold, into the mix. Wes Martin, I have. And then my last guy is Keith Ishmael. David Sharp not on the field, so that really kind of it messed with me because I can't judge you if you haven't been out there. You know what I mean? And some of the other guys, a lot of the others, it's if you're not on the field, if I don't have anything to put on tape for you, anything, you're not getting any game time, any of that. No, I can't do it. But I do think reason why I padded this, I know y'all joke with me. Reason why I padded this is because with having Fitz, we need to lead. If we want to ensure the most magic that we could possibly get, we need to keep him upright. Ab, last time you were talking about how our O-line in the last game looked good. We looked like we were getting some cohesiveness, sticking together. So I want more guys in there so that if somebody goes out, which we've had issues with, we know Scherf, he has injury problems from time to time. If somebody goes out, I want to be able to plug and play. Get them and not think about where do we need to look for another. I want to be able to plug and play. So I stuck with 10, and some other positions suffered. But you know what? That's the price I'm willing to pay. All right, that's the price I'm willing to pay. Will, what you got, man?
So I went 9, and I think I told y'all like right before we went there, like I'm forgetting someone. I know I'm forgetting someone, man. So I wrote that I had 9 offensive linemen. The one offensive lineman I forgot to write down, Brandon Sheriff. How did I miss that? I went across the board and skipped him. So it was right as you were talking wide receivers, Abba. I think maybe you said it, or else I went, Sheriff. Oh, shoot. So I got left tackle was Leno, left guard Schweitzer, center Roulier, Sheriff, Cosme. Their backups, Cornelius Lucas at left tackle, Flowers could be starter. I have no idea who's going to win that battle there. Charles on the right side with his position flex. And then I'm going, and I said it in the 53, Tyler Larson has been getting all of the second string reps at center. He came from Carolina. He will be the backup center. And they will be cutting Keith Ishmael, just like what Ab said. Ron talked about this week. You want to keep your draft guys to give them a chance, but at some point you have to admit a mistake and cut bait. And I already was thinking that Ishmael was going because he wasn't getting that second string reps. And like all the beat reporters were like, it's him, he's out. They were kind of seeing that too. And there's a player later on that is making the team, and I think he's only making it because of his draft status. That we'll get to. So I've got there, but I've got Larson over Ishmael, and I think Ishmael will be on the practice squad, which is cool. Let's get him some more reps. I have not heard a single thing about Wes Martin all camp long, and I think it's time we cut bait. Hey, he's a Jay Gruden pick, whatever. That's kind of hit and miss there. So unfortunately, but yeah, that's my squad.
Okay. 9. You said 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you need one, I can lend you one since I have 10. I'm just saying. I can help you out. I'm just saying. Ab, what you got, man?
Honestly, I hate when I agree with Will so damn much. I hate it, man.
Out, baby.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I can't. Bro, like Will said it. Everything. I had 9 myself, and I think it came down to the last position was on the 9th final spot. Like the obvious picks. Leno, Sheriff, Roulier, Flowers, Switzer, Charles, Cosme, Lucas. Those are the obvious 8 right there.
Yeah.
And then I had 9 myself because of the flexibility of several other players on the offensive line, and instead of 10. So I had 9, and it's a toss-up between Larson and Ishmael. And I had Larson first, but I think, like, because we just drafted Ishmael last year, like, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's like it's a toss-up. So if I have to pick, I'm gonna pick Larson, because I exactly agree with what Will said. Is that Larson has the experience? He can honestly, he can be the backup, because if you really think about it, none of these with all the flexibility of the other players, there's no backup to center. There is no backup to center, so we need a backup center. And I think that I think they wanted him to be the starter eventually, but he just never outplayed Rouillet.
Yeah.
And I think you have the ability to put him on the practice squad and nobody really going and after him. I think it was a 5th round pick or something like that.
Correct.
So, but I think we keep but Larson, he's a free agent, or like he would be a free agent. I don't know if he has the ability to be on the practice squad. So I think you keep Larson just for how he's looked in the off season or in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, moving on. Will, now I will come to you this time. Defensive linemen. I coupled them together, defensive ends and defensive tackles. So just said one big group, D-line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're starting to get to some of the tough ones of who's going to be that last guy. Just like you talked about offensive line, are you going to 9? You going to 10? Who's it going to be? I went with 8. Okay, 4 D ends, 4 D tackles. So I went Young and Sweat. The backup defensive ends, I went with William Bradley King, the 7th round pick this year. And I went with James Smith Williams, the 7th round pick, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, as my 2. I strongly considered Shaka Toney, and it was a tough kind of cut, but I think he can be on that practice squad. D tackles, Allen, Payne, Ioannidis, Settle. Duh. You know, good enough.
Yeah.
Great depth. The best in the league, you know. So there we go. 8.
What you think?
I have 9. So I skimped out on the running back position. So I only had so I still was like able to have like one more out there. I put it 9. I wanted to try 10, but I had to put my emphasis somewhere else. So Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Chase Young. That's our front 4. And then we have our those are our 1As. These are our 1Bs right here. Ioannidis and Settle. You know what I'm saying? I got Bradley King as the prime backup, and I think they like Shaka Toney, bro. So I really think they like him, and so that would be number 8. I think my final pick would be, and this is a toss-up again for that final spot. It's a toss-up. I have Daniel Wise. I think he's hungry, bro. And I think he just looked good in that game with Cincinnati. So it stood out to me. But the toss-up would be between him and I'm gonna mispronounce his name. Bunmi Radami.
Who?
Bunmi Radami. He played well. Yeah, that's the toss-up, man.
Who's that?
Oh man, y'all. So let me put y'all.
I'm sleeping during that time.
Yeah,
this guy's playing.
That's when you stop watching, Will. That's when you stop watching.
Yeah, this is why. Who?
Yeah. So this guy right here, like he, if I'm correct, he was undrafted and undrafted in 2018. He got put onto the Chicago Bears, and then they released him before he played any games. Then he jumped onto like the XFL, the CFL gig kind of thing, and he showed out there. And then we finally picked him up this year, and honestly, he's like silently contributing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not a big name or anything like that, but he is like, honestly, I could see him having a practice squad spot myself. So just if y'all want to watch the game, go rewatch the game. The dude's got
I'll watch it.
like the dude's got stats. You know what I'm saying? So, like he definitely deserves respect on that front. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, real quick, I'm gonna give Nate, since we gave him a hard time. He's asking, will Sam Cosmi start?
Right tackle.
Yes.
Tackle.
Yes.
And then he asked, are you going 3-4 or 4-3?
4-3.
4-3.
There we go. There we go. Nate, shout out to you doing your show. Ab, I'm pretty much like you, but I only have 8. Chase Young, Rob Payne, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat. Those are our 1As. Tim Settle and Ioannidis. I agree with Shaka Tony. I agree that they like him, and I think he'll stay. And Bradley Williams or Bradley King. Yeah. So I liked him. And since my guy Justice Reed got cut, I don't know where I was on that. I was watching that first game still, and I was like, oh, this guy's got a motor. I like him. No, he got cut. He's gone. All right. Heartbroken. It's all right. So yeah, I only have those guys, but that's somewhere that I kind of skimped, and I'm kind of really relying on those front 4, and then Ioannidis and Settle to come in and do it. I'm relying on those top 6 to kind of do it, and kind of praying for no injury on that one. But that's definitely somewhere that suffered because of my own line. I will say that.
I think that James Smith-Williams is the first D end off the bench. He's number 91, isn't he? And they like his ability to go inside and outside too. He played really well so he started against New England because Sweat was out. And like I saw the one play they did a boot, and he sat back and waited, and he read it, and I was like, oh, okay, this guy's got a little bit of speed to him. He's got a little bit of something to him. But we'll see. I don't think he played last week.
Yeah, and maybe that's why I'm sleeping on him, because I really focused on the game last week, and I didn't see much. You know what I'm saying? If you don't play both games, then especially if you're grasping, then a lot of people won't pay attention to you. If being honest,
right. And when you only play the one game, and I think you do great, even though you got cut. Just I'm gonna shout you out, brother. I hope you get picked up. I hope somebody picks you up, brother. Okay, I don't know where I was when you got cut, but brother, I rooted for you. I had a vote for you, my friend.
John, let me say this though: some of the people that they cut were stat-wise the most productive people that played in the game. So it's literally you have to make that stardom look. You know what I'm saying? When you are out there in preseason, and you're one, you're not drafted. 2, you are literally just practice. They put you on the team for practice wise. You need to stand out, and so that's the argument. He may have played well, but he was only playing well to be on another team, because he was literally only the competition before him is just dumb.
Yeah, creating that film. And I'm with you on that. I'm with you. And Ab, I'm going to come right back to you. Linebackers. This is the position that we've been talking about all off season that we need to fix. We need to take care of, because we struggled there last year. So Ab, how many you got and what you thinking?
Linebackers? Okay. To me, again, other than running back, I think linebackers get the brunt of the abuse in every play. And I think they are the running backs of the defense. And to me, you need a little bit of depth. I think some people will be like, you can have 5. No, if you're thinking the way I'm thinking, they get abused just like running backs do. So you need a little bit of depth there. I think we go 6. In fact, I think they get abused a lot more than running backs, if I'm being honest. So we go 6 here. Bostic, Holcomb, Davis. Those are our number ones. You know what I'm saying? Those are obvious. I spoke his name before. David Mayo. Kaliki Hudson. We drafted him last year, I believe. And then number 6, that leaves number 6. I got a Jordan Konsiksik. Man, I can't pronounce none of that. I'm sorry.
No, you can't.
No disrespect to his name, but no, Jordan Konsiksik.
Nope.
Kunasik. There you go.
Kunasik,
There you go.
pretty
Get it.
good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Let's
you.
go.
So, you know what I'm saying? I think he produced in the Bengals game, and honestly, I think he showed out there along with, like I said, and with David Mayo. So that's my top. Those are my 6. I got 6.
Nice. Will, what you like? What you got?
So I went 5. And I think, Ab, you've got some great logic there, and your linebackers are really your special team stalwarts, down there making plays. I went 5 because of I think the scheme they're going to do, and I think we're going to see us run 2 linebackers way more than we see us running that base 4-3. And from what I'm hearing right now, it's going to be a lot of Bostic and Holcomb out there to start before Jamin Davis gets ready to go, and I think they want his speed and athleticism to take over. And so Bostic, Davis, Holcomb, obviously, just like everyone else, Hudson. And then I'll see this last one. I was like, there's one of those special teams dudes. It's one of those gritty white dudes out there. And so,
yes, sir.
So I went Mayo as well as my next one. I was like, I'm hearing more about him making plays, so I'm gonna go that guy. Because I think we're gonna play more safeties out there. I think we're gonna play that 3 safety look more often. So that's why I went 5.
Mine's like yours. I had Holcomb, Davis, Bostic, Mayo, Hudson, and Jordan. I don't know how to say it.
What's his last name? Say it again.
Yeah, say it again, Av.
Okay. Kunasik. There you go.
There we go. And that's more for the name than anything else. Yeah. But that's definitely somewhere where we talked about this all off season, how this is a place that we need to focus on. We know what our front line's doing. And we're about to talk about our defensive backs. They look good. We're looking fresh at that position. So linebacker is that like second line of defense that we drafted there, and we need to focus on it. So I definitely wanted more people so that, again, injuries would not, take away whatever we were doing. Somebody's out, so all of a sudden we're not that great, even though we have been. So I got 6 in that spot. And last but not least, Will, I'm coming to you. Wait, who did Ab, you did linebackers. Will, I'm coming to you for defensive backs.
I have 11. And the last 2 on each one, I don't have any confidence on those picks, but that's what I've gone with. So I'm going to break it down corners to safeties and kind of explain why. So corners, we've got Fuller, Jackson, St. Juice, Jimmy Moreland, McTyer. I feel real good about those 5. Yep. And then I'm trying to figure out who could be the 6, and trying to figure out, okay, so you've got Danny Johnson, who's got kick return abilities and has done kick return stuff. And I saw him a little bit in that Bengals game, make some plays. I think he had a pass breakup. That was the first I had seen of him. But honestly, I'm kind of tired of Danny Johnson. He's been on this roster for 3-4 years. He's been this project for 3-4 years. The project ain't working. I'm done with him. Okay? So then I went with the other project, the newly transitioned from safety to corner, Troy Apke. And part of why I did it is his special teams ability. And so if you need guys out there to make a play, and you're trying to figure out who's going to be up and who's going to be down on the inactive list, he's a special team stalwart. So I have him as our 6th, and I'm shocked to put him on there. For safeties, we got Collins and Curl as our starters. Mm-hmm. I think Bobby McCain is going to have a very, very large role with us, and that's where I went 5 linebackers, because we're going to go 3 safeties a lot. I put the captain, DeShazer Everett, still making the spot he's a gamer, and the pick I don't like here, and it goes back to what Ron said about, well, you draft guys, you want to try and give them a chance. I haven't heard anything about this guy, but I see Derek Forrest making the team instead of cutting him, where I'd rather see Jeremy Reeves on here, but I just haven't heard anything about Reeves all year. So I got Derek Forrest as like my last guy. Him and that 3rd tight end are my last guys to make the roster.
Gotcha.
Did you say Moreland?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure. All right.
Oh yeah, JMU Jimmy, come on.
Come on, man.
I gotta get my alma mater jersey at
I
some
was
point.
wondering, man.
Yeah.
JMU Jimmy, yes sir. So I only had 10 here. I only had 10. I'll start with corner. Also, William Jackson, Fuller, St. Just, JMU Jimmy, and McTire. Feel good. I feel great with that. We got Curl and Collins starting at free safety, strong safety, respectively. McCain will be in there. I have Everett, and I also have Forrest. Mainly because Reeves, I haven't seen Reeves. I've been looking for him. I went back through the footage, and I really haven't seen him. I haven't heard anybody really talk about him, and I don't, with him, I think Forrest is what they're looking for. Reeves was maybe a bright spot, for some time, but what have you done for me lately? That's the league that we're in. So I think they go Forrest. I have 10. So Ab, finish us off. What you got?
I got 11. So I agree with everything that you guys are saying. I'll do it the way that you guys do it. Cornerbacks: Fuller, Jackson, Juice, Moreland, McTire, but I also got Danny Johnson. This is where he has my last spot for the defensive backs. I think just his flexibility right there is what's needed. I think that makes him just that much better because we can use him in the defense. I don't think we can use Carter as a wide receiver. Right. So that's why I have Johnson there, is because we can use the flexibility between him as a cornerback and him as a punt kick returner. And to me, I like that flexibility. But Carter, we're literally only keeping him on the squad just to punt and kick return. Nah, that's not feasible for me. I can't see that. Did I say McTire too?
I think so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Now safeties: Collins, Curl, McCain, and I got DeShazier Everett because he's the homeboy. Like he's been through it all with us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think his spot is clear. Just like he said, Sean. I haven't heard anything about Reeves all off season.
Right.
Nothing at all. And honestly, that right there is suspect to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's always one of the last people to make the team every year that we've had him. So this isn't a good look for him. So, like, I'm sorry, bro. You're not going to be on the team anymore. And just like Ryan was trying to hype up, just because we drafted you, you're not going to make – doesn't mean you're going to make the team. I don't think that's the case for Forrest. I think Forrest makes the team. I do. I especially because he makes plays in the I don't know which game it was, but where he hit the guy at the goal line and they called him
not a penalty.
I didn't think it was a penalty. I didn't think that was a penalty at all. But it was a nice clean football hit, but because old boy ducked his head, then they called it on Forrest. But to me, that showed grit. Like right there, like that was almost a Chase Young hit on Burrows last year. And I like that. I think you can build on that. And honestly, he's got a spot on my team.
I like that. Now definitely since Nate, you've been watching this, so I gotta shout you out right here. He said, I think this is to you, Will. You don't think Del Rio can give Robinson confidence to give him extra reps?
I think I would have seen more last year. He was hurt last year. Deandre Johnson was hurt a lot last year. I don't know. I just, I'm looking for new players in there. I love what we see from McTire. Obviously we love what we see from St. Just. Danny Johnson's been around. Going into the season, we kind of thought him and Greg Stroman, who'd be battling for that 6-1. And honestly, with both of them, I'm like, we've seen him. I'd rather someone new.
Right. You don't think we've seen Apke before? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Not a corner. New
I'm
position.
They're
praising him, man. They are praising him.
Oh, good gracious. Troy Apke. Good gracious, yo! Honestly, I love that, but with the Johnsons and with the Reeves, I think the fact that this year what we've seen is that their competition across the board has been the name of the game, and we coming into camp, we didn't know that McTire and who's the other guy I was thinking about? We didn't know what McTire and St. Juice were going to ball out like they were. With St. Juice, we had high expectations for because where we drafted them. But for them to be stepping up, playing with the ones, getting in there and getting good reps and getting good action in, and showing up like they have been, just like with Patterson, some other positions, maybe not even in that same group, will get the axe. But in this one, Reed, you're not Reeves. You didn't show me enough. Danny Johnson. He was the he was the roster casualty because of my own line. Let's just say that. Okay. Somebody didn't get a job because I like my big beefcakes. I like my big guys. Okay. That's it. There it is. There it is. Yeah. So hey, there it is. The 53-man roster. I'm gonna kind of go back after we get off this episode, and I'm gonna look back at the old one we did. And then once we actually get the final cuts, when that comes out, I'm gonna compare what we said, what we finally said, and what actually came true. So, I love this. Absolutely. This is ladies and gentlemen, this is what we've been waiting for. Yeah. All off season, we've been building up for this. Our final opinions on these cuts and who's going to actually make the team and go in with us week 1. There is a lot to play. Will, like you were talking about with not people that get cut and then they get on the practice squad. You have sorry about that. You have these guys that could potentially get on with that, and then you also talked about with like guys like Reyes or something where they can kind of keep them on there by saying, oh, they're on IR or they're on injured or concussion protocol type deals. So there is definitely ways to move around some of these things. And look, come week 1 or week 2, when injuries or things happen, or other players become available, this might get flip-flopped. We might get people that are cut or people that get brought back for need, or you know what I mean? Ab, you talked about Dustin Hopkins, kicker. We got, other kickers are looking for positions. Other kickers might have got cut. That might be a position we need because consistency is going to be something huge in the special teams that I think we're going to have to look.
Especially for close games, man. Like, honestly, you can't be affording him hooking everything and blaming it on timing, bro. No, you had weeks to figure this shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm thinking in those first, I'm like 3 or 4 of the first 5 games. I know we played the Chargers. That thing's gonna be close. New York, some reason we always play them close.
We suck against the Giants.
I don't know what it is. We will play New Orleans, and Buffalo. I think we're going to play them close. We need to have a kicker that's going to get us out of some tough spots. And if our the first couple showings of our first team offense is any indication, we're going to need to put points on the board from him. You know what I mean? So definitely hoping we can get better. But, hey, shout out to my guys putting in that work, trying to figure this whole thing out.
I have a question for Nathan.
Here we go. He said he can't wait to do his list for Baltimore. What you got?
In your lifetime, have you ever heard of a backup kicker getting traded? Knowing that he's watching, because he put that on his show the other week or so.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever heard of a backup kicker getting traded for nothing. When they if the Ravens sell Justin Tucker, I ain't trading for your guy.
Yeah.
Right. I'll pick him up on waivers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you may have like a good like 1B kicker or something like that, but teams know you're not, one, going to carry them on your practice squad. 2, like you're not going to put them on your active squad. So they're going to wait for you to release them. Mm-hmm. So like it's a business decision. Like and those are the things you got to weigh on when you're making these selections. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost a predictability. Like you're almost guesstimating on what the team is going to do, and it's highly unlikely that they trade a kicker.
Yeah, especially not backup. But here we go. He said no, but we traded another kicker, and we had for a late pick.
Who?
Was it a backup or was it a starter? Who was it?
Was it a kicker or a punter?
Yeah, kicker or punter.
I've seen punters get moved for, every once in a while, or punters get drafted for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. Shout out to Nathan Snell. He's got his.
We appreciate the interaction. We certainly do, Nathan. For
sure. He shout out to Nathan Snell. He's got his show, Big Nate One podcast, that he does at, every couple days. No, he wasn't a backup. He was trying out.
What's his name?
Yeah. Give us his name, Nate.
Oh, and you're trying out against the best kicker in the league. You know what I'm saying? Oh boy, got commercials. I don't know any other kicker that could commercials.
Have you all heard Justin Tucker sing?
No.
Dude's got an opera voice.
What?
Yeah, it's nuts.
All around, baby.
Yeah.
This guy can do it. He's our Tress Way. Yes.
And that's what I was just thinking. He's our Tress Way. They got their kicker. We got our punter.
Yo, so shout out to Nathan Snell, man. He talks Washington. He talks Ravens. He talks, everything having to do. Oh, wait. He said Vadak. He was traded to Minnesota. Huh. Never heard of him.
You can trade a backup kicker and get a draft pick, man. Nice
right.
job.
How good is this backup kicker? I mean, daggone.
Right?
There you go. So, hey, real quick, speaking of you, Nate, since you are on the show, this Saturday at 6 p.m., Washington plays at home in their final preseason game. They play Baltimore, and what we all know is just basically the tryout game, the final cuts day. Ab, are you going to watch? A, but B, what does this game mean for those guys that don't have a job yet?
To me, this is where our maybe picks are become to fruition. I think this is where those last picks that we were on, this is where guys get that job. You know what I'm saying? Where we're suspect on the number 6 pick for wide receiver. This is where guys show out. I think honestly, if we're doing the same thing as far as the we've done in previous years, the starters don't start. The starters don't play on this game. You know what I'm saying? This is literally just backups trying to get that get in on that 53.
Right.
I think this is like I said, this is where people earn their jobs. Let me make this prediction though. I know Baltimore's on a winning streak. I think they'll lose this game though.
Aren't they undefeated?
Yeah,
they're undefeated the last 8 years or something like that.
Yeah. Let's end that. Let's end that. Will, what you think, man?
So I don't know what to think about this next game because this is our first preseason with only 3 games. And normally, if this is preseason game number 4, I don't tune in because nobody's playing. But it is a big game for someone. It's a couple of years ago, we had a running back named Mac Brown who balled out against the Buccaneers and made the roster. So this is a big deal for some of these guys. Like you said, Ab, you're hitting the final roster spots are up for grabs right here. And we're going to see guys getting extended playing time. And what can they do? We're going to see Steven Montez get a chance to play. But Ron mentioned he's treating this week as a regular season prep week. And he hasn't said no to starters playing. He hasn't announced how long. It's supposed to be coming here soon. I think he's got an extra day since it's on Saturday. So that's what I'm kind of curious about. How are they going to treat this preseason with just, one less game than normal? Is this the throwaway game that everyone gets ticked off at the NFL for, you're charging people regular season prices to see non-starters, playing? Or do they actually say, nope, we're going out there for a couple reps? I'm curious to see.
Yeah, it should definitely be interesting. But it definitely will be something to look forward to. Like Nathan said, Battle of I-95.
Battle of the Maryland teams. Who gets pride?
And it's really not even a home game if you think about it, since we're so damn close to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's
and our fans don't
Neutral.
show up, so it's gonna be
Right.
more Ravens fans. Let's be honest.
Talk about that.
Yeah.
These fans, our fans, not showing up. It's ridiculous. It feels weird, our last preseason game, but I'm expecting a good game. Always is when, backyard rivals go at it. Kind of reminds me of the Baron Cameron Bowl. You know what I mean? Us against South Lakes. Here we go. And last but not least, and I sent you this video, Ab, right before, and I should have put it on here. I'll make a commercial with it later. We did a couple weeks back. Which kind of got Will in a little bit of trouble. We did our draft order where Will Kramer came out number 1 for the first pick in the fantasy football host league that will be September 1st. Okay, September 1st on this show next week, ladies and right? Yeah. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we will be here on the show 8:00 for a draft. Nate, I think he said he might have to work.
What?
So he might not be able to do it. I'm pretty sure Cameron will be in, Nick, Delilah, all those guys.
Nate, this has been on the books for weeks.
Yeah,
but he said
put that on there for weeks.
But he said they his job, they finally started. This is the first day they're coming back in person. Yeah, so that's the only reason. Because he normally would have been at home.
Get the sniffles, man. Get
So
the sniffles on Tuesday.
Get that little.
Yeah.
Does that mean he's going to auto play it, or
hold up? They're correct. I told him. I said, listen, all right. I said, I understand if you can't make it. Hey, I get it. But I said, you better fix up. You better figure out how you're going to do it because this is cutthroat.
He's going to get like 4 quarterbacks back to back.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to you for watching this and commenting. He said, I'm still sure I'll be able to work something out. There you go.
Good.
Like, you don't have to be on the show, but to me, if you're like, just like you said, Sean, make sure that you fit like your picks. You make sure the autoplay it does it to what your liking is, because
sit there for
I'm trying to tell you, man,
every time he has to draft, man, we're just gonna have to sit there and wait.
No, yeah, you put that thing on auto. Because they're not going to sit back for a minute and be like, here we go. Waiting on Nate. Here we go. So, get that stuff together next week. Tune in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be live on air. We will have that. We'll try to work it. I'm going to actually try to get up with everybody this weekend when I think Nick and Delilah are off so that we can all get in here and kind of run it and see if we can share the screen and kind of put it where they're seeing what we're seeing and that whole thing. So stay tuned for that next Wednesday. We will definitely be here doing that. Put it on.
60 seconds good enough for you guys?
60?
Yeah, it works. I mean, that's a lot. I was about to say that's an eternity.
I think that's quick, but that'll work. We'll make.
Yeah.
You think that's fast?
It's not. It's like. No, it's a good medium. There's going to be some picks you're going to be toggling over. And
right.
There's going to be others where you don't need more than 20 seconds. So I think it's fine. It's going to keep the draft going. That's important.
Right. Will, you going to tell us your first pick, bro? You got that in lock? You got that locked already, bro?
Pretty sure. I'm still doing some research here, but I'm pretty sure I have selected who it will be. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
There's there's like 1 or 2 guys I'm still kind of looking at, but it's like I think this guy might get carries, but there's a lot of it's really trending one way.
That number 1 pick is so stressful, boy.
Yeah.
Like, it's so stressful.
Shout out to Nate asking what's the draft order. You can go back and look. It's 2 episodes. Yeah, 2 or 3 episodes back. I think it's episode 25. I will also put out a video that I just sent to Ab of the draft order. Number 2. I know I'm 4th. Ab, are you 8th?
I'm last. Yeah.
Yeah, you're last. Number 2 on the list, I believe, is Delilah. And I think that's most of what I know. I think it might be 7, Nate might be 6, something like that. But I'll definitely get that order out to you so we know who's going where. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on here for 2 hours. This has been a long show, but this is what we do. We love diving deep into this. My baby's already asleep. I apologize. No, she's got to go to work. Hey, shout out my girl, man. She's
first day of school tomorrow.
No. She's already 3
that's
deep.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, she's already 3 deep, and just shout her out, man. Shout her out because she is moving mountains with these kids, and she deserves all the love and respect that she gets for dealing with them, then coming home and having to deal with me and my loud butt. So, so shout out to her. Love her very dearly. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we thank you for I'm talking to you, Nate. Nate, we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for going back and forth with us. I know this was long, and hey, we absolutely love this. We absolutely love this. This is why we're here. But guys, this is kind of going to be the last one of these type of things. From here on out, next week we have the draft, and then after that, game time, baby. Game time.
Game prep, game analysis.
Yep. Yes.
Let's
get
go.
Ready to go. Let's get it. So, hey, for me, Mr. Sweater, you can't see it. I've been trying to monitor that. Mr. Sweater Double Deuce. My guy over here, Av Loaded Shirtless Wonder, Mr. Moist. I love that clip, man. I love the clip because you look at Will's face, and Will just smiling. He's like, what you just I was like, no, Will, we lost him. Yo, and I got to shout out my guy all the way from South Carolina's eggplant, Doug K, Will Kramer in the building. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, Nathan, appreciate you watching us. Talk about can't wait for the draft. We can't either. No. We can't either. Yeah. And let my year of dominance begin. Let my
Lord.
Trash talk has begun. Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we will see you later.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The line. The line. You need to so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is